Alright, what's up guys? Welcome back to another video. Sorry if I'm more incoherent than usual today. I'm really tired. So I was scrolling on Instagram Reels today. That's like my favorite thing to do. And so I was scrolling on Instagram Reels and I saw this video by this guy. I don't remember his name. I left a comment on his video, but he was talking about how he thinks all of the promises, right, that he was promised in his life, how they were a lie. And basically he was talking about how, he worked his whole life. He's 30 years old and he worked his whole life, to get a good job and to like buy a house and stuff. Really just kind of focused on the financial, I guess, materialistic side of his life. And so now he's upset, I guess, because he doesn't have a wife, he doesn't have kids, he doesn't have a family, right? And so he feels, I guess, cheated a little bit because he, was kind of promised by society that, oh, if you, work hard and get a good job and whatever, do all of that, then you'll end up with, a life and a family and stuff. And that got me thinking, right? Because that got me thinking of the way modern society is, Western society. I guess we're just doing videos on freaking the shortcomings of Western society. But that got me thinking, right, about how Western modern society really does not prioritize people anymore. It's really we really live in a materialistic society. It's all around us, right? I think a big thing where this is reflected is in like the work culture. It's pretty I guess pretty prevalent just to put in insane hours at work, right? And it's kind of expected that you will, I don't know, man, like move up the ladder, right? You're supposed to advance your career, and I guess for people who want that, whatever, that's your decision. But I think myself and a lot of other people really do not want to spend their whole life in pursuit of material things, at the expense of other things, right? Because of course we all need money. We all need freaking like food. We need to eat, whatever. But I think our society kind of makes success, makes a metric of success, a material, I guess, category. That didn't make any sense. But it when people ask how successful you are, they're asking, kind of what you do for a job, how much money you make, what type of freaking house you live in, and what type of car you drive, right? And for most of people, that's their metric of success, and I don't think that's fulfilling. I think that guy showed us that that's not fulfilling. And I think a lot of people are starting to kind of wake up and realize that, living your life in pursuit of material items is not a, fulfilling thing. I've seen so many TikToks and, YouTube videos and other stuff about people who just don't want to work 9 to 5s, 9 to 5s plus, for the rest of their lives. And it makes sense, I'm a Catholic, I'm a religious man. So, I kind of view things a little bit differently, right? I kind of prioritize God, of course, but I also prioritize, people and relationships. And I think that money should be in service of those things, and material items should be, in service of relationships and of other people, not the other way around. And so, I would invite anybody who is, around my age, I'm 20, just kind of in college or high school, whatever, and kind of looking at the future and is like, bro, like, am I really going to have to, work just for, just to get more stuff for the rest of my life? And anybody who sees that and does not think that will be fulfilling, I think you're right. And I think that, we should work as a society to change I guess to change the way things are, because it doesn't have to be like this, right? I think we should prioritize people, you know, a lot more. Obviously, I think, you know, everybody should work if you're able to. I think people are responsible for providing for themselves and their family, but I don't think we should go crazy with it like we are now, because our society is just hyper focused on profits, hyper focused on stuff, right? All of these companies that are you know, giant machines that require you to work insane hours every week if you're, you know, if you want to have a job with them. I think that's stupid. I think that, I don't know, it's come to a point where we are, you know, I guess serving the needs of greedy people, you know, at the expense of the vast majority of society. And I think that, you know, that's not good, guys. So that's all I had to freaking say. I drove to this park just to say that. So if any CEOs are watching this video, then I don't know what to say. But basically, don't work to live. Wait. Don't live to work, work to live.